We're back. We're in Queenstown, and the cider's flowing already. Right. Sorry, a bit of a different time to yesterday. I got sort of bogged down with a bit of work, so that has to come first, unfortunately. Right, let's get organised. Well, let's do it properly. Welcome to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel, and we're here on location in Queenstown, towards the southern area of the South Island in New Zealand. It's not just a pub crawl, I'm actually at work. During the day, doing my day job. On an evening, get to do a live stream to you guys. Have we got anybody? We've got a thumbs up, but nobody watching. Oh, we've got 4. Excellent. Right. Let me just get organised, because I'm not, I can't log on to the live stream until the live stream goes live on my laptop, so that's the way it works. We've got Daniel Bedell on board already. Excellent, Daniel. Good man. And we've got 1964 Squareback. Afternoon, Andy. Well, good afternoon. Just move that back a little bit. There we go. Look, that might work. In fact, we were a bit higher up yesterday. Give me a second. Let me sort this camera out, because it's always a bit of a rush. That could be better. Yes. How's that? So, a quick pan round for you. Look at that for a view. Pretty damn cool, isn't it? Today is a classic Queenstown day. The sun is shining. It's been glorious all day long. Got all my jobs done. Now it's time just to relax a little bit. Cheers, crew. Who else have we got? We've got Alan Cooper. Now then, Alan. Simon Roll. Welcome aboard, Simon, as always. Oh, there's all sorts going on here. It hasn't even played the live stream yet. There's so many adverts on YouTube now, isn't there? It's just horrendous. Full name. Are you free there now? Are you free there now? Are you free? That's a very open-ended question, isn't it? Are you free? I am in Queenstown right now, and I'm at Pugmahones, Irish pub, around the back, if you're about, wherever that is. The full name. George, good afternoon, Andy. Afternoon, George. Good to have you on board, mate. Wolf Party, that's a new one. Hello from Maryland. And who else have we got? We've got Dave Terra. Cheers, bro. Simon. We have snow in the UK. It looks nice and warm in New Zealand. It is. I've actually put my coat on when I left the hotel, staying at the Ridges this evening. Very nice. But very quickly took it off because it's far too bloody warm for a coat. But I thought I'd better bring it with me because, a bit later on, I'll be out for a while. It'll be getting a bit chilly. So, enjoy the snow, Simon. Don't play. You can't beat good snow. Daniel, have you enjoyed a cigar? Or should I ask, do you? Oh, a long time ago, when I first started smoking, I'll give cigars a bit of a go. But not into the taste. I suppose every now and again, maybe Christmas time, I might try another one. But they're just not something which really appeals to me at the moment. Maybe when I get a bit older. But hopefully I'll stop by then. Yeah, Maryland, USA. Cheers. Thanks, Wolf Party. Rosura. Try bungee jumping. I've done bungee jumping and I'll never do it again. Scared the living bejeebers out of me, that did. Just trying to convince every cell in your body that jumping off a bridge is not a good idea. I'll only ever do it once. Honestly, scared shitless I was. Alan Cooper. Red hot up here in tropical QLD, Queensland. An ex-Harrogate Yorkshire lad living the good life, haha. I bet you are. Yeah, it won't be snowing there, will it? James Webber. Hi, Andy from Ontario. Hello, James. Good to have you on board. So what news have I got for you today? Well, it's only been 24 hours. What's happened? Well, got up this morning, did some emails, had to make some pretty important emails, to be honest. Got those out of the way, got running a bit late as usual. And got round to our first meeting. That went well, no problems at all. Scooted off down to Cromwell, which was our next stop, because I was obviously in Wanaka this morning. And they had a bike that didn't run. It's fantastic. Well, they didn't tell me to start off here. I just did all my other stuff first. Then I noticed this quad bike in the workshop, that the guy was scratched his head and struggling a little bit. So basically the fuel pump had failed, and he got a new fuel pump, put it on, wouldn't work. And he said that there was power to the fuel pump. Checked it out, and there may well have been when he first did it, but they found a damaged wire in the loom which had been going to ground. Anyway, long story short, there was no power to the fuel pump, so we traced it back to the fuel pump relay, so the fuel injection relay. That was working fine, but there was no power feed on the load side on the relay, so we traced that back, and lo and behold, it was just a blown fuse. Man, did he feel this big afterwards, but he was very grateful for the help. He wasn't an electrical guy, and he put his hand up. He's not an electrical guy. So, you know, I did it a bit like a training lesson, you know, and we went to the service manual, and we looked at the wiring diagram, we followed the wires back, and we did it step by step. And yeah, sure, it was just a blown fuse, and we could have gone straight to the fuse to check it, but, you know, it's all about showing people the right way of doing stuff. And he was very, very grateful. So it made it all worthwhile going, to be honest, just that little bit of training. And, of course, getting the customer's bike going, because it had been off the fleet for a few days, I think. Flooster. Hey, had a go on the mechanical bull there yet, mate? No, where is the mechanical bull? That sounds fantastic. It sounds very dangerous as well for me to get on it, but yeah, let me know where it is, and we'll have to give it a go. Obviously not to camera. That wouldn't work at all, because, you know, it would only be a few seconds on the ball. Daniel, you have to try a black and mild casino cigar, obviously. Right, okay, I will. At some point, it won't be tonight, guarantee that, because I need to be able to talk tomorrow. I just don't like the taste. But it might taste different. You know, they're all a bit different, aren't they? They're all their own sort of flavours and aromas. James Webber, how long was the drive from Monaco to Queenstown? Oh, well, I went via Cromwell. So Cromwell to Cromwell took me 45 minutes. It wasn't long. Yeah, about 45 minutes. And then it takes about 55 minutes to get to Queenstown with all the traffic, you know, steady away. I wasn't in a rush. Didn't think I was going to be in a rush, then I realised I had so many emails to do. Got all that sorted out there. Daniel, we'll send you a picture on Facebook. You probably will. You're good at that kind of stuff, aren't you? There we go. Give me a second, Drew, because Daniel sent me a picture. Oh, it's downloading the photo. Oh, there we go. It's a bit slow because it's also running the laptop as well. There he is. Modern technology, eh? Isn't it amazing that you can get images, you know, from all over the world and then chuck them straight onto a live stream? It's fantastic. It's in the Cowboy Queenstown pub. I know where that is. I will have to go. Right. So yeah, we got that quad bike all fired up, and that was the end of my visit, to be honest. So I had to hot foot it out. But you know, they've still got the service to do and stuff, so it won't go back today, obviously. It might go back middle of next week, by the looks of it. James Webber, I found the place you were at Wanaka on Google Earth. Yes, it was the Trout Restaurant. Very good, actually. Trout Restaurant, cafe and bar. I think they're going for all possibilities to try and get as many people in as they can. But, you know, with the name, obviously. But, yeah, pretty good. So, what's happening over the weekend? Well, I've got to go and see the lads at Off-Road Adventures tomorrow. Gonna have a bit of fun there. And, you know, see how things are going. And then really just chill out for the rest of the weekend. Sunday morning obviously will be an early start. Live stream at 8:30 as always from Queenstown. So, and 2 live streams from Queenstown in one weekend. That's pretty good, isn't it? And then on Monday morning I've got to scoot down to Invercargill. I'm going to try and do a live stream from Invercargill, but I have a sneaky suspicion that I'm going out for dinner. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. I think so. There's something going on that they haven't told me the full story. This is the people that run the motorcycle shop in Ricardo. They asked me, are you there for the evening? So the answer was yes. So we'll have to wait and see what I'll let you know. There might be a live stream, there might not. It all depends what they have planned. If we can do a live stream, maybe, just maybe they'll go on the live stream with me. Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. Now then, Daniel, I'll send you a pack. Your shop, if you can message me your details. All right, mate, I will. I'll do that for you. In actual fact, the PO box address is in the description, so you've got that. I can't say anything to my home address, obviously, because it's not good. I've got to keep that super secret. John Tyson, good day from Canberra. Hello, John. Hope you're all good, mate. James Webber, are you meeting up with Tom and Kim? No, I'm not.
What can I do?
Now then, Simon, speaking of that, what's for tea tonight? Your platter yesterday looked good. It was really good, actually. Very, very tasty. I did have a quick scan through the menu, but I've not ordered anything yet because I've got till 9 o'clock to order. So I thought I wouldn't pester you with chomping food all the way through this live stream. I am going to try and leave this to just cut it short at the 1 pint because we went on for a long time last night. And just as I cut the live stream, my phone went flat, so we timed it just right. What's the flavour of your drink? Well, it's a what is it? I think it's a Monteith cider from memory. Pretty sure it is. It's whatever they've got on tap anyway. Cider. Tastes like Monteith to me. We'll call it Monteith for now. It's a live stream. You won't know. Pretty sure it's Monteith. So yeah, next week, quick overview of next week. Going from memory. Monday, obviously, drive to Invercargill in the morning. Afternoon at the motorcycle shop. Evening in Invercargill. Tuesday morning I am round to Gore, I believe. Pretty sure it's Gore. Or is it? No, maybe it's not Gore. No, it's not. It isn't. I'm wrong. It's Balclutha. Sunny Balclutha. It's not the greatest of places, to be honest. There's not a lot of amenities there, that's for sure. And got a dealer visit in the afternoon. I might have another one in the morning actually. I forget. There's so much going on. And then on the Tuesday, no, on the Wednesday, sorry, I'm on 2 different farms all day, doing some research. Thursday, I've got another dealer visit and some more. In fact, that's the wrong way around. Oh, sorry, Tuesday morning, Invercargill dealer visit. Tuesday afternoon is Balclutha dealer visit. Wednesday is on farm all day. Thursday morning, on farm all day. I don't know. I get mixed up, but I've got all sorts going on. I tend to sort of I set my schedule and then don't worry about it too much. I just keep looking at it. So there's lots going on. And then for the weekend, I'm going to end up in Dunedin for the weekend. I've got some meetings on the way up. I've got a meeting on Saturday morning on the way up the coast. I'll end up in Dunedin on the Saturday night, late afternoon, and then Sunday all day Dunedin. No idea what I'm going to do. Obviously there'll be a live stream from Dunedin, 8:30. God knows where I'm going to run that from. A lot of the pubs are closed Sunday mornings, so I don't know. Wait and see. I'll find somewhere. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, working my way up the west coast. Got some more meetings to do up there. Wednesday night, Wednesday night I arrive on the ferry to Wellington, and then Thursday I've got a meeting in Palmerston North on the way home. Should get home, I reckon, about tea time on the 17th. It's a long time, isn't it? It's a long time on the road. We're doing lots. James Webber, a Brit, a blonde, a bike, Tom and Kim. Thank you, James. The last time I saw them, they were in Dunedin. So maybe I'll flick them a message and maybe we can do a meet-up, maybe on the Sunday somewhere. I'll be in the ute, they'll be on the bike. I haven't got a bike here, unfortunately. It's not Coors Light, it's bloody cider, look. It's not, it's cider.
This is a married man.
John Tyson. Balclutha and Gore are good places to drive through. Used to be in my territory. Yeah, I don't mind Balclutha. I have some bad memories of Balclutha. I turned up there about 2 hours later than planned. I was bringing a trailer down from. In fact, it was on the Rescue Charlotte mission, and bringing a trailer down from Greymouth with a side-by-side on it. And because of all the filming and the stop-starting and bits and pieces, we did that filming at Springfield Cafe as well, which was hilarious. I didn't get into Balclutha until just before midnight, and of course the hotel I was staying at. I'm saying the word hotel very loosely. There was nobody there. Nobody answering the phone. They'd all gone home, basically. So I couldn't stay at the hotel, couldn't get in. So fortunately, the owner of the motorcycle shop put me on for the night. If it hadn't been for that, I'd have been sleeping in the truck, which I have done before, to be honest, many times. Gore's alright. Gore's got a bit more amenities, but I don't know. There's a few pubs and stuff, I suppose. It just seems a bit bleak. It's alright to drive through, like you said. There's a good cafe there. There's a cafe that does roast pork rolls, and they're really tasty. So I'll definitely go and get one of those. Daniel, just sent you something else on Facebook. Wow. My word. What have we got now? Doing the advertising here. When they do an autopsy on me, they will find out. Daniel obviously enjoys his Pepsi. Not a sponsor, by the way. Good job, mate. Good job. Now then. Nimador Jackson, good morning, Andy. Hope you slept well. I did sleep pretty well, to be honest. Yeah, I was alright. I'm still doing okay. I think by the end of this trip, I'll be pretty knackered, to be honest. Wolf Party, do you have a tool girl with you right now? No, there's no tool girls down here. Mrs. Mechanic would go mental if I took a tool girl to Queenstown. Come on now. That really couldn't happen. That would be terrible. It wouldn't be very fair on her either, would it, to be fair? You know, I mean, I am married and all that. Jeez. Simon, sounds like you need a motorhome with a tow bar. I'd rather have a truck, actually, a big truck, where I could have some of it as a workshop and some of it just have a sleeper, you know, inside the cab like the Arctics have. That would be great for me. I got all my gear in there and have a bike in the back and cruise around. But unfortunately, it probably wouldn't get places quick enough for me. There is actually a substantial difference, it seems, from when I had the old Commodore estate car to now having the Ute. Especially in bad weather, the Ute's a lot more sketchy on the roads, especially when it's, you know, raining hard. Jeez, there's the cider. You've just got to get a bit careful because there's some pretty tight corners around here. But the Commodore just stuck to the road like glue. It was just it only ever let go once, and that was entirely my fault. Now then, Dave Terror, Warbirds over Wanaka. Yes, I saw that. Well, there's a museum, isn't there, just on the way in. On the right hand side, I saw there's some planes and stuff outside. Unfortunately, no time to go around. That's the problem with my job. You know, everything, all the hours during the day are already booked up. Yeah, definitely worth seeing though. I'll try and link it in next time, but can't make any promises. Matthew Clark, seen you today. Oh yeah. Kai Kawapa in Wanaka said hi to you. You did. Somebody went, Andy Mechanic. I was having my breakfast. That was nice. It's not often I get recognised. Cheers, Matthew. All good, mate. Daniel, my dad told me if I wanted some, I would have to learn how to walk for it. Oh, that's right, how to work for it, I think it says. So I did, and I've been having some since then. That was 37 years ago. Yeah. We all work hard, don't we? That's just the way it is. Wolf Party, no disrespect, sorry mate. No, you're all good, you're all good. It's you know, you guys see me in the workshop with the tool girls helping out, and you know, I can understand why you might think that. In a different life, it'd be a wonderful thing, wouldn't it? But no, it can't happen. Jeez, putting ideas in my mind now. Anyway, so how was your day? You've heard about my day. Turned out very successful. It's always nice to do a diagnostic and actually get and fix the problem. And it took us probably, I don't know, half an hour from start to finish, and probably 5 minutes of that was downloading a service manual to get the wiring diagram. Just I knew what the wires were because I've done it before on those bikes, but I wanted to show the process to the tech so he could follow it from start to finish.
Medium rare?
Oh, that sounds like a steak. I might have to go for a steak tonight rather than the bangers and mash I was going to go for, because they tend to load it up with peas, and I'm not a great fan of peas, to be honest. So what have you guys been doing? Oh, walk, not work. Sorry, Daniel. I read it as walk, but I thought you meant work. So I would have to learn to walk for it. Okay. John, work from home. Still manages to do stuff all day. Yeah, it must be hard. There's a lot of people that are still working from home. I mean, we've been very, very lucky here, and in all honesty, after that sort of 7 or 8 week stint at home, I got a lot done. Don't get me wrong, I got a heap of stuff done. You all saw it on the live stream, but I was really looking forward to, even though there was still problems around the country, I was looking forward to getting out, getting some fresh air, and doing my job basically. Even though I was still working from home and doing what I needed to do, you're limited to, or I'm limited to I can't do everything from home. That's the thing. It does involve me travelling. That's part of my job. It's a big chunk of my job, to be fair. John's been stuck at home since March the 13th. Man, that's horrendous. It won't be long before it's a whole year, will it? We're up to 9 months already, aren't we, near enough? Jesus. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Has somebody sent me another message? They have. Oh my word, this is what Daniel did today. Wow. That looks like a real building site, Daniel. Look at that. Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. You do work very hard, I'll give you that. Oh, there's one more. There you go. Very cool. I think the lighting's slightly better tonight, isn't it? We're not in direct sunlight at the moment. I tried to choose a better place for it. Now then, Daniel, sent some pics of that house that I'm working on. You did, and it looks very good, mate. You're busy. Simon, off to work. Have a good day and night, everyone. Cheers, Simon. Thanks for joining in. Sorry it was a little bit later than yesterday for us to get started. Like I said, I got caught up with some emails earlier on. So, have a good day at work, Simon, and keep safe, mate. Ooh, here we go. Engine Technical BD. Good morning. Good morning. That's a very proper name, isn't it? Engine Technical BD. What does the BD stand for? Daniel Beddle. I've sent you some updates. Cool. Jeez. Hang on then. Hang on. There's all sorts going on here at the moment. I can't multitask. Yeah, got those. Thanks, Daniel. John Tyson. I'm in a COVID-free area, but I can still do my job remotely. The commute is great, and the food choices are okay. Good. Good that you can get out. Commute is great. You don't commute anywhere because you're not commuting to work. That was a joke, obviously. I must admit, you do save a lot of time not having to drive to work every day. And obviously save a bit of money on fuel as well. Yes, I heard that, James. I think the UK is going to roll out, or they're tentatively saying they're going to roll out a vaccine next week, so good luck with that. Hopefully things are going to start to quickly turn around and get better for you. John Tyson, lol. Oh, some good news. I got an email today from the people at Car Tyre Motorcycles that are supplying all the Honda parts for me for the CB750. From what they say on the email, all the front brake stuff, the new brackets and bits and pieces, for what they can get. There's a few nuts and bolts and bits and pieces that they couldn't get, but I can source those locally, that's not a problem. They're on their way. They're on the courier as we speak, so they should be landing at home probably in the next 5 or 6 days, probably by this time next week they should be there. So once Christmas comes, I can crack on with that bike. I might even be able to get a video done before Christmas actually on that. maybe the weekend after I get home, which will be the 19th. Maybe is it Saturday the 19th? I don't know, something like that. Maybe I can do the front end then, because it won't take too long to put that together. And it'd be a good motivational thing to get that front brake done. Then I can focus on the wiring harness and make a start, doing the wiring modifications. Oh, the ignition switch is coming as well. So there's a new ignition switch for it because there was quite a large volt drop through the ignition switch. And don't forget, we're putting a relay on the feed to the primary circuit, so we're going to eliminate all those volt drops and bulk of the wiring and make it a lot more direct. It should be pretty good, I reckon. L. Latham, hello from Oklahoma. Love the channel and the ladies. Cheers, matey. James Webber, my mate in Oldham has not seen his kids or grandkids in 9 months. Holy moly. Because of the virus. That's horrendous. 9 months. The kids are going to look so different after 9 months. They're going to grow up. Pat Tootil. Hey, Pat. Welcome aboard, mate. That vaccine will be what comes the zombie apocalypse in the future. I know. I was speaking to a lad today, actually, in Wanaka. And he was telling me, you've heard of the what's the movie's called? Not Evil Dead. It's the one with Mila Jovovich in it. You know what I'm on about. Resident Evil. That's it. And he was saying, you've heard of Resident Evil? He says that's exactly what's going to happen. That was like the prequel to the reality, and the Umbrella Corporation and stuff. And it's a bit hard to get it out of your mind once you get told that kind of stuff. And that I was already thinking that myself. If it all goes wrong and there are side effects, serious side effects, then who knows? We might have zombies walking the streets. It's not good, is it? It's a bit scary. Daniel Beddle, what do you and your kin do for Christmas? Well, actually, Ben's coming down to see us all. He'll probably bring Eloise with him as well. Charlotte obviously is in Canada, so I'm not going to see Charlotte, but obviously we'll do some Facebook messaging kind of stuff going on, and conference video calls and things to wish them all Merry Christmas and so on. Just an update, Charlotte hit 100 orders on her SD online shop for those little bandanas for the dogs, so she's absolutely over the moon. She's done really, really well, and it's definitely got the potential to turn out to be quite a good little business for her. So if anybody out there that's listening now has ordered any of those for their dog through Charlotte, then thank you very much. It is really much appreciated. But as far as I'm concerned, for Christmas, well, I usually spend most of the Christmas in the workshop. I usually get bored. Well, I'll probably watch some movies and bits and pieces on Christmas Day and just chill out. But by Boxing Day, I'm going to have itchy feet. I'm going to want to get outside and get some, maybe just tinker, just take it easy, but be in the environment that I like. I'm not one for just sat at home doing nothing, watching TV all the time and stuffing myself with food. I can do all of that in the workshop, can I, to be fair? Oh, hang on. So what else have you guys been up to today? I know what Daniel's been doing, and I know what... who else was it? Was it John? Yeah, John's commented on that, but anybody else? Simon's gone off to work today. So what are you up to? Do you do any projects at the moment? Anything like that you want to talk about? Because this is your time, not my time, really. Now then, Daniel, it also reminds me of the movie starring Dustin Hoffman, Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's a great actor, so is Dustin Hoffman, to be fair. Keith Sutherland, it's Keith, isn't it? Not Keith Sutherland, Keith Sutherland, and Rene Russo, called Outbreak. Bloody good movie, yeah, with the monkeys. Man, that is a good movie. And I actually watched it maybe only a year ago again, because it's pretty scary stuff. And it's that kind of thing. It's not if, it's when, isn't it? The rest of the way we all move around the world so quickly. John Tyson got your mug the other day. Excellent, John. It's pleased to hear that the freight's still working. Thank you very much for that. You'll have to send me a photo through. Send it to my email address, and I'll stick it out on the old Instagram. L. Latham, I work in a hospital and we are filling up with COVID. Oh man, Stay safe, mate. That's harsh. I don't think I could do that kind of a job, to be honest. I mean, yeah, you want to care for people, but I think self-preservation steps in. I mean, I'd be so careful with all the PPE and things. I wouldn't be very happy doing it. Daniel Bedell, I love that movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a classic. It really is. Pat, it's 15 minutes to 1 a.m. Sorry, Pat. I'm done working for the day. I bet you are. Jeez. John Tyson, I have a disrespectful photo in mind. Just remember Instagram's rules, mate. I can't put things out that are not good. John Tyson, sorry about the caps. Sorry about the caps. Explain which caps. This kind of cap? I don't know. What are you on about? I have a bad memory. I can't remember everything. I am expecting one of these live streams just to get taken over by pub people, but I don't think it's going to happen tonight, fortunately. Try and keep my voice just not too loud so people can work out what's going on. I think it's pretty obvious the camera on the bench and the laptop and bits and pieces, and I'm talking to myself all the time. Oh, there you go, capital letters. That's all right, John. That's all right. I can let you off that. So you didn't mean to shout. That's okay. But you did get my attention for sure. James Webber, it's 1:48. You guys are in the morning. You guys are so dedicated to watching these live streams. It's unreal. I mean, to be fair, we don't get very many viewers on these, so we get quite a lot of people actually watch the live stream, after it's been posted on the channel and not live anymore. And there's quite a few comments come through from that. So the idea is to keep you all in touch as to why I'm not posting any more videos at the moment, because I'm on the road. Loads of comments. Daniel, I also love the movie with Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal is a cool bloke, where he plays an agent or something dealing with the CDC. He plays all sorts of badass people, doesn't he? I mean, he's usually a good guy, but he plays it real well. He plays by his own rules, that's for sure. Doesn't take any shit, that bloke. Like, even in the real world, he doesn't take any shit. He's a top guy. A lot of respect for that chap. Al Latham, what is Boxing Day you mentioned? Okay. So the day after Christmas Day in England, and even here in New Zealand, and probably a few other countries, is known as Boxing Day. What's it to do with hunting? I don't know what the original history of Boxing Day, where the name came from, to be perfectly honest. Somebody will tell us. But it's another bank holiday, another day off work, a national holiday, so to speak. But here in New Zealand, I think it lands on a weekend day, so we get the Monday off as well, like a day in lieu, which is even better. Cuts down on the using up the leave to try and get the whole of Christmas off. Daniel, indeed I am. You are. Osman 471. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Osman 471. Great to have you on board, mate. Now then, James Webber. I fell asleep after supper. That sounds like me, does that? Osman 471 have been furloughed for the second in the UK. So second time in the UK. So my solar project can get some attention. Don't you like that? It allows you to do all these little projects at home that you've had on the back burner and not quite had time to do, but you've bought all the stuff to do them, or most of the stuff to get on with it. But you just need the time, and it gives you the time. And I got a lot of the stuff in the workshop done, which was fantastic. I was very, very pleased with my efforts. I was pretty knackered by the time I went back to work, but it was a one-off opportunity to make the best of that time, and I know I did. I look back now and think, well, I couldn't have done anything else. I was flat out. John Tyson, it's the day you packed all your boxes away from Christmas away. Okay, well there you go. I don't have that many boxes these days, but yeah, I suppose the kids do, or they used to do when they were little. They used to get loads of stuff, quad bikes and all sorts. I used to really treat them, It was good fun. El Latham, it's 12:50 a.m. here. Man, it's middle of the night. It really is. Should be in bed by now. We're about halfway. You see, with all the talking, I don't do a lot of drinking. I'm sure that's how you get me to keep the live streams going for longer. John Tyson, hankies and undies, packets, not boxes. Yeah, exactly. Daniel Bedell, nothing on TV. Can't sleep, so I figured that I would interact with you and the viewers. Well, thank you, Daniel. It's, you've certainly commented a lot and given us a bit of material to liven up the old live stream. It's great to see the work that you do in that house, or even the second house that you do. Very good, actually. High quality stuff. And you get a lot done in a short period of time. But it's important that you don't rush it. You want to do the best you can for each particular job, but you do get a lot done, and you do a good job. I've seen the pictures. James Webber, that cider you were drinking last night looked like water. It did, didn't it? It was almost clear. It was that one. This is a different colour, golden colour.
Oh yeah, smash it.
El Latham, how do you find the girls to go on your show? Very, very difficult, to be honest. And getting more so. I used to use a talent website called Star Now. That was the name of it. And for the first couple of years, it wasn't a problem. You just put an advert out, and there was lots of talent on there, people looking to get into the industry. And most of it was just modelling work and stuff. But being able to go onto a YouTube channel is a lot more involved than just posing for photos. So it only appealed to a small number of the girls on there. But and then of course you've got logistics. When I was in Auckland, it wasn't really a problem because a lot of them lived in Auckland, and it wasn't didn't live too far away. But now the workshops moved down to Taupo, combined with the fact that Star Now don't believe that the position of an assistant in my workshop meets their criteria for whatever reason, I don't know. I think somebody's complained about it or something. They've got cold feet. They don't let me advertise on there anymore. So at the moment, I don't really have a way of recruiting, so to speak. But that's okay. I mean, we've got tool girl Holly, and she really is good, to be honest. She ticks a lot of the boxes. She's very good on tools, and she's great fun. She is, and I think given time, she's going to start to open up a little bit and to talk a lot more in the videos. I mean, she is now, compared to her first few videos that she did, she's a lot better. And I do really want to get to a point where she can make her own video, where she can do a strip down or something, an engine or even just a caliper or a starter motor, do the repair and put it back together, and she will actually do the video on her own, and I'll just do the filming, just to make it a bit different. But we're not there yet. She did do a little bit on last Sunday. We did the last video, putting some bits and pieces on the DR, some foot pegs and bits and pieces, and I just gave her the camera. I said, right, you can film this bit. And she did, she just got on with it, and she did a great job. I've not edited it up yet, but looking at the rushes, I think it worked out just fine. It was an excellent first effort, to be honest. So there's definitely a lot more scope of what Holly can do in the workshop for sure. She's very keen, she's very enthusiastic about it, and she does enjoy coming down. You've got to remember, she only comes down to the workshop probably once every 3 months on average, so maybe 4 times a year, maybe sometimes 5 times a year. So we really have to crack on and get the videos done and get the jobs done during that weekend. And sometimes if we're short of a part, or we need more parts than originally planned, it can really cause a problem in continuity of those videos. So up until now we've been okay, but because of the pressure, here's I won't say a spoiler alert because the video's already gone out, but I made a mistake in the last video that we did where we fitted the steering head bearings. In the kit with the bearings was a large seal, and I just glanced across at it and I just assumed, for whatever reason, I don't know why, that it was the top seal, and it wasn't. It was actually the lower seal. It should have been fitted underneath that lower bearing on the stem, and we didn't. We pressed the bearing on without it, and obviously once the bearing's on, it's too late. You can't get the bearing off again without damaging it. So that bike doesn't have a lower seal. That's all right. One day it'll get changed again, and at that point I'll put a seal in there. It's not going to get the kind of use and abuse that some farm bikes get. It's more just a project. But yeah, we all make mistakes, and I was just distracted. There's a lot going on when you're trying to direct somebody in the workshop, you're trying to film, trying to get the job done. Sometimes I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I did kick myself when I edited that video up there. Now then, so hopefully that's answered your question on the Tool Girls. Now then, Pat Tootill. I Am Legend with Will Smith was a good zombie movie. very scary near the end, to be honest. Yeah, a very good movie though, really well put together. Probably a little bit too much CGI for my liking, but you know, how do you make a movie like that without using CGI and keeping it sort of interesting? And I don't know, but it was a very good movie, and I have got that on DVD, and I do watch it now and again. Now then, Daniel, I've got 3 houses I'm working on all at the same time, and I'm buying my first house. Mate, that is fantastic. Good job. Really impressed. It's hard. New Zealand, it's very hard to buy houses now, especially for the next generation. Especially around the Auckland area, they are just crazy expensive at the moment. And there's a huge shortage of houses as well. So a lot of people end up just renting. And those that own the houses to rent them out, they're not going to sell them. They just keep renting them because they can charge what they want. Within, you know, the rents just go through the roof. That's one of the reasons why I stopped living in Auckland, because I was renting up there. Daniel, a home for myself to live in. Good. You need a castle, mate. You do, for all your stuff. First time home buyer. Yeah, it's not easy. It really isn't. It took me a long time to buy my first house. John Tyson, nearly 6 p.m. here. Got to run before the Gestapo gets home and gives, wow, that's a strong word, gives me grief for just sitting in front of the computer. Have a great week down south. See ya. Cheers, John. Thank you very much for joining us. I do appreciate it. And have a safe week. Now then, James, have you watched $1 Million Bogan? No, I watched $1 Million Baby, which has got Clint Eastwood in it. Again, a very good movie. But I've not heard of $1 Million Bogan, so I will check that out. Assuming that's not spell check. L. Latham, thanks bro. No problem, mate. Daniel Beddle, don't forget that I also do automotive repair and diagnostics as well, Lon. Mate, you're a busy lad. You really are. I think you're probably more focused on the houses at the moment, by the sounds of it. But it's a good skill to have, isn't it? To have 2 good skills, you know, your carpentry and all that kind of stuff that you do on the house renovations, but also to do the car repairs as well. And, I mean, I renovated my own house quite a few years ago, the one that we live in now. We bought it a long time ago, but it had a tenant in there with his family, and eventually they moved out, and we did a full internal reservation, completely stripped out all the bathroom, the floor, the walls, the ceiling. It all came out, redid all that, made a nice job of that, and all the rooms got, you know, replastered and painted, and all the floors got sanded, because it had nasty manky old carpets in there, and we couldn't really afford new carpets. So just, you know, sand the floors and varnish them, and it works a treat. Much better. A lot easier to keep clean, and you don't get that. I have like a dust allergy from carpets and stuff, so for me it's great because you just sweep up the floor, hoover up the floor, and the house is clean. There's no hidden dust in the carpet, which is a real bonus. I mean, sure, the varnish cost a bit. I think I didn't hire a sander. I actually just bought one. I bought a hand belt sander and did it all on my knees. And probably on my knees are knackered now. James Webber. He's a guy from Melbourne that sells real estate and has done some crazy road trips in Oz on Harleys. Check him out on YouTube. I will. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, James. Appreciate that. Well, I've just seen the bottom of the glass. Not long to go now. So if you guys have got any more questions, now's the time. Like I said, the next live stream will be Sunday morning at 8:30 AM New Zealand time, normal live stream time. So it'll be pretty chilly down there. I might even do it here actually. I think I've done a live stream here before on a Sunday morning, and it was pretty quiet. So maybe I'll come back and use one of the bigger tables for that.
No, it's just gonna grab anything.
So, update on the DR200. Without giving you too much of a spoiler alert, we did a great job putting it all back together. We've got it running. There's still a few minor tweaks to do. I'm not entirely sure that we've got the wiring harness absolutely correct across the frame. I think that requires a few little tweaks to get it all to sit nice. There's a couple of mud guards on their way, they're on order, and a new seat that's going to arrive as well, because I priced up getting the old seat reupholstered, and I had to repair one of the brackets, and there wasn't a lot of difference in just buying a new seat, and it was still available, so that was good news. So there should be a seat here at some point. It's obviously going to come out of Japan. It's going to take a while to get here. I think the mud guards are already in New Zealand, so that was good. What else is to do on it? Oh, I've still got the rear wheel to do. I've still got the spokes to replace in the rear wheel and a new tyre to chuck on. And I've still got the chain and sprockets to do. We didn't have time to do that. There's a gear lever putting on it, which I've still got to paint. But I'll probably just use some of that Forge aerosol paint for that. It'd be a lot easier. Yeah, other than that, it's getting pretty close. And then I can get it out for a warrant and get it on the road, get some reg on it, and then have a bit of a blast on it and make sure it's all good for Holly. Because she's really keen to get on that bike and take it around Woodhill. James, a few guys on motorcycle forums that I visit have issues with their lower head bearing seal, so don't feel too bad. Cheers, mate. You're trying to make me feel good, aren't you? It should have a seal there, it should, and it hasn't, but I think it'll be alright for a while. It's not the end of the world if I have to do it again, you know, it's not that big a job. And I do know what I'm doing, and I'll be able to remember to put the seal in next time because Holly won't be around. She'll be up at home in Auckland, no doubt. Can't wait for this COVID crap to be over. I think, you know, with this vaccine thing, I don't want to talk too much about COVID because, you know, YouTube get really upset about that kind of thing. But I think we've reached a tipping point now, and I think hopefully, if there's no serious side effects, then within the next 6 months, that vaccine should be rolled out across the planet, and you know, we should be a lot better, in a much better space then to what we are, to what globally we are now. So that you can visit the States and Canada. I'm really looking forward to coming over there. I really am. I've never been to the States or to Canada before. And I think we could also visit Indie Auto, commonly referred to as Nick's Garage. Wow, you're planning my trip for me. This is fantastic. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to do over there. I've no idea how much time I can get off work. I might have to try and twist my boss's arm a little bit to give me some extended leave. It's something I really do want to do, and you know, sooner rather than later if I can. It's got to involve a motorcycle ride across America as well at some point. I don't know how far I'll get. It's a big place, America, isn't it? But no, I'd like to do that while I'm there. So we'll have to wait and see what turns up. What are we on? 47 minutes. I thought a live stream would take like 25 minutes to drink a pint. How wrong could I be? Oh, that's a good cider. I'm getting hungry now, though. James. We are 1 hour west of Toronto. Excellent, James. Well, what I'll be doing, obviously, when things start to get planned for going to the States for this trip, obviously, it'll be mentioned on the live streams and maybe some videos as well. So we can start to formulate a plan, put a route together where I can do all the visits, bits and pieces. I don't know how long I'm going to be there for. I don't know what I can accomplish. I don't know how big the budget's going to be. Everything costs money, unfortunately. And I don't have a great deal of money, to be honest. I'm very good at spending it, usually on tools. Now then, Daniel, it would be fun to have you join me. By all means, Daniel, you're most welcome along. I don't have a problem at all with that. Daniel, I've been planning this trip for over the past 3 or 4 years. I had a really good route planned across, you know, from England to New Zealand, where we were going to take sort of 6 months to get here. But again, due to budget constraints and urgency to get here, we had to only really do the first leg of that trip, which is about 6,000 k's, about 4,000 miles. Still a long way to go, and we did it in the thick of winter as well. There was a lot of snow around over the hills, and it was quite an adventure. It really was, and there was a very high chance we weren't going to make it, that it wasn't going to be successful. We didn't have a lot of backup, we didn't have a lot of money either, but we made it, and I think we got to New Zealand with about 500 euros left. That's all we had left, and we set off with 27,000 euros. That's a lot of money, so we burnt through it pretty quick. But you've got to remember that quite a big chunk of that would have been a container. That was probably about 5,000 euros, and flights as well, probably about the same amount again. So about 10,000 of that would have been actually just the flight and getting everything out of Europe, out of Athens, where we shipped out from, to New Zealand. The final leg was 10 grand basically, plus a few hotels here and there, and we tried to stay in cheaper hotels as possible. When we were driving through Europe, we didn't stay in any hotels. We actually had roof tents on the patrol, and we were sleeping in the roof tents. And in Bulgaria and Romania, it got down to minus 15 degrees C on an evening, which is pretty chilly. For an Englishman, that's pretty damn cold. Now then, Pat, I've been trying to get a tool girl. Good on you, mate. I have a van that says 3mm sockets, but so far only guys have been interested. I think you need to change your slogan, but it does sound a bit seedy as well. You'll be a bit careful how you promote what you're after. It is very difficult to recruit tool girls at the moment. I don't know what the problem is. It's maybe that I'm not looking down the right avenue. But hey, I'm quite happy with Holly. And you know, Mrs. Mechanic says I really can't overdo it with the tool girls. You know, I've got to keep a real good balance on the channel. And that's what I want. That's what I always said at the start. You know, it's not always going to be tool girls and videos. We're going to try and focus more on the technical videos as well. And that's one of the reasons why I'm enjoying doing the CD750, because that's a lot more technical stuff that really I would struggle to do with an assistant in the workshop at the same time, in all honesty. I'm not a great presenter, I don't think. I can't multitask. That's my problem. There's too much going on, you know, phones, filming, batteries, getting the camera angled, working out what to do next, step by step. Some of it comes naturally. When I'm working on my own, I don't have a problem at all. It just flows really well. When I'm filming with an assistant, that extra dynamic of directing the assistant and trying to get the shots and get the angles for the camera and everything just right, it does take a lot more time, and it does detract somewhat from the actual repair. So having a technical repair, it's difficult, you know, it is very difficult. Now then, James Webber from Cheshire originally. I've been to Cheshire. In fact, I went to Camp Beaumont. I think that was in Cheshire when I was a kid. I had a great time. Daniel Bedell, I figured that for me to get from Virginia to Aval, Ontario, Quebec, Canada, with about 10 stops along the way, would take about 24 hours. Jeez. Yeah, there's a lot of driving. The States is just big, isn't it? It's just so big. It's a bit like Australia, but Australia's nowhere near as big as the States, obviously. But Australia is just, when I was riding up to Brisbane, man, it was just mile after mile after mile of just highway. When I came back, I did all the back roads, and that was a lot more fun. It took a lot longer, but it was more fun. Daniel, can you get your hands on a CB1000? Not at the moment, but one may come my way at some point. I don't know. James Webber, Stockport. Oh, okay. L. Latham, have you had any repair accidents, injuries? Well, the most recent injury was the bit of metal in my right eye, and that was not fun at all, to be perfectly honest. Did not enjoy that one bit. You know,
just go online,
fingers,
bro,
hands, whatever.
Oh, I want to see the reaction age, like,
you know, doesn't bother me too much as long as it's not too deep, but I'm not too good with blood, although I tend to just flick it off across the workshop, which is really bad. But yeah, eyes, I'm actually pretty good at not injuring myself, but you know, touch wood. Hopefully there won't be any. We did have a guy working for us in the UK talking of injuries. He was working on one of our quad bikes. He was doing the rear suspension, and he was working on his own. All the other staff were out on the off-road centre doing stuff, and he has a radio in the workshop, and he has his mobile phone as well. And it collapsed, and it trapped his finger between the shock and the swing arm, and he couldn't move, and he hadn't got the strength to lift the bike back up. And he was trapped for about an hour with his fingers stuck between the shock and the swing arm. And I felt really bad for that. You know, we should really have had somebody else around while he was working on the bikes. But he was a very, very good technician. He normally never had any problems, but it was just one of those freak events. And fortunately, his finger recovered pretty well. It wasn't that badly crushed. But you know, if it had gone on for a lot longer, then he might have lost circulation and that kind of stuff, and it could have been very, very serious. Now then, Daniel. Rather Be Wielding has one that has made a good project with it. Okay. Is that Rather Be Welding? There we go. Rather Be Welding has one made. Okay, I'll check. That's obviously on YouTube, so I'll check that out. Daniel, I can't wait to do all that driving in my truck that I told you about last night. Yes, it's good fun driving around. I do, especially around the South Island. I do. Every corner there's a new mountain appears. It's fantastic. El Latham, you are correct. I can't show that, but you are correct. It was not fun for Peter, his name was. Real nice guy. Played in the band. Yalkame, yeah. Oh, you like me, Tiger Beat. Bike review at motorcycle and ATV. It's good to be an idea for you as an attention to the channel. So you'd like me to do more bike reviews? There's a lot of channels that do bike reviews. But yeah, I mean, I do try to mention various attributes of the bikes that I'm working on. Obviously, once the CB750 K2 is done, there'll be a road test, and maybe we'll talk a bit more about that when it's done. Well, we've run out of comments, and we've run out of cider, and it's 55 minutes in. It's a lot longer than I planned. So we've come to the end of this live stream. Hope you enjoyed it, and hello again from Queenstown in the southern part of New Zealand, in the South Island. Been great chatting to you, and got a message. God, I wonder if it's Daniel. It's not, it's a family thing. Okay, cool. Right, so I better sign off, get packed up and go to order some tea because I'm really, really hungry. But thank you again for joining, and well, I'll see you again for sure on Sunday morning. That's New Zealand Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m. for the next live stream. Thanks for joining, chaps, and well, stay safe. All right, crew. Cheers. Over and out.